Welcome. Today we're going to learn how to load and unload filament on the Bambu A1 and the Bambu A1 Mini because it's pretty much the same process on both printers. Okay, on the Bambu A1, the filament spool holder is here on the top, and on the Bambu A1 Mini, the filament spool holder is around the side on the back. So in order to load and unload filament, you want to use the screen on each of the printers. So screen right here, screen right here. The Bambu A1 screen is a slightly smaller, so I'm going to show you on the larger screen here on the A1. Okay, so on the screen you want to first hit filament and then click on unload. So if you already have filament loaded on the printer, the first thing you're going to need to do is unload it. Now you'll notice right here it shows that it is heating up. So it's heating the nozzle, needs to get up to 250 degrees Celsius. Right now it's at about 136 and going up. So we'll wait just a minute for that to finish heating up. Now you'll notice that it just goes through those steps on it. It's on, you don't have to do anything. It's going to move around a little bit. And then finally it's going to say pull back current filament. Okay, so you're going to reach around, grab that filament from the back side and just pull it through that plastic tube until you get the last end out. Okay, and once you have it out, you want to take the filament spool off of the spool holder. And then you want to wrap the loose filament around the spool. And once you get to the end, you want to make sure to insert that little end into one of the holes on the side to hold it in place. Otherwise, it's going to get tangled. And once you've taken that filament out, you'll see that it shows unload completed. Once you see that message, you can click anywhere on the screen and it'll take you back to the filament loading screen. So the next step you're going to need is to load the new filament. So click load on your screen. Once again, it's going to heat the nozzle because you never want to load or unload filament with a cold nozzle. So let's wait for that to get to 250 degrees. Okay, once it's gotten as hot as it needs to, it's going to ask you to please feed the filament into the PTFE tube until it cannot be pushed any farther. Okay, so we have a new color filament here. Now we're going to insert that onto that spool holder. And then take the end. Make sure the end is sharp, that it doesn't have any stringing or any knobs on it. If it does, take a pair of filament clippers and clip it off. Once you're good to go, slide it through that plastic tube and push it all the way in. This will take a little bit of time to get it all the way down that plastic tube, but you'll feel when it reaches the end because you won't be able to push it anymore. And once you've got it all the way in, you'll actually be able to see the color of the filament through the tube, unless of course you're using white, then it's kind of hard to see. But once you've pushed it all the way through, it's ready to go back to the screen. And the screen is going to tell you to check the nozzle and then select done if filament was extruded. What that means is to go look at the nozzle of the printer and look to see if you see some filament coming out. It won't be the correct color yet. It'll probably still be that old color that you had on there before. But if you see filament coming out, you're good to go ahead and click Filament Extruded Continue. And of course, if you don't see any filament coming out yet, just go ahead and hit the not extruded yet retry and then check that one more time. But we saw some filament, so we're going to go ahead and click Filament Extruded Continue. Okay, now it's going to push new filament into the extruder. And during this process, you'll see it starts to change color. So mine went from being that blue color to being yellow. So it's purging that old filament out and making sure it's the right color. And you're going to wind up with a little bit of what's known as bamboo poop. So you can throw that away or do whatever you want to with it, and now your filament is loaded. So the screen will show your load is completed. Now you can just tap anywhere on that screen to go back to the main screen. And then if you're done with filament now, you can click on that back arrow to go back to the main menu.